Hey Marcus, yeah, I'll send you. Let me get this thing. Hey guys, for who are in here, we're waiting. Let me how's everybody Sunday night? Marcus, I'm gonna send you the link. And anybody else, if they want a link and just come up and chat, feel free to do so as well. Because just let me know and I'll get you one. But let me send Marcus one. Hey Diva One. I'm kind of being laid back tonight. So the only thing I want to talk about is really one thing. And that's that situation with the train dude because he got and this is the 37-year-old dude. And they said the woman was mentally ill. I don't know. Okay, let me send you one too, Khadijah. you said dick. How am I late? I'm not late. I'm just like 2 minutes late. I'm sending you one, Khadijah. I'm like 2 minutes late. But I'm sending you. I sent you the link, Khadijah. So, but so I sent you the link, Marcus, and I oh Khadijah, I can't have a 5-minute grace period. And I sent you the link to Khadijah if you want to, but I don't know. Did y'all see that dude was like, let me try to get it out and read what went on. Cause yeah, that dude.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. Let me look my phone up real quick. Okay. How you doing tonight, Sam?
I'm just laying here relaxing for right now. You know, I was watching a show. The show Suits. It's about attorneys.
I heard that was a good show.
I heard it was too. I'm in the first part of it, the first season. Hey, Shanice, I'm in the first season of it. Episode. What episode am I on? Episode 6. The first couple ones was a little bit boring, but I told myself I need to get into it if I'm going to actually watch it and give it a try. And it's a little bit interesting.
Well, usually with shows, the first few episodes are just like boring because they're introducing everybody. And I really wish they would kind of do it to where, like, you know, the action is there, but they're still introducing people.
Yeah, they kind of are, and then you have to get used to the characters and things like that. And so I'm gonna continue to give it a try and see what it's about. But how was your Sunday? I know Sundays tend to be lazy days for a lot of people.
It was good. I went to Menchie's. You got me hooked on
They are good. I haven't been in Menchie's in a while. I haven't been in Menchie's in a little while. I might go tomorrow.
We don't have pineapple at ours, though. I've been wanting to get pineapple in my frozen yogurt, and we don't even have it.
I want to put some Sour Patch Kids on some pineapple Menchie's. It's really good.
Hey, is it Marquise or Marcus?
Marquise.
Hey, Marquise, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Hey, Helen, how are you? But yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
that stream I did earlier, like it got so out of hand. Like I don't like it when it get out of hand like that. Because I wanted to have like the one with a Mary.
Oh, he's annoying.
on the strong black. It's just, to me, the thing of it is it was like the points didn't really make any sense. That was my thing. Hey, Leo B.
I mean, his ball scalp get on my nerves. And then it's like, okay, so the women were obviously disagreeing with the foolishness that he was saying. And so Taz and Twin were disagreeing with him too. But the men in the chat only felt the need to go after the women. And so I made mention of that. I was like, y'all don't find it funny that Taz and Twin are saying what Amiri is saying is stupid and they're other than their men themselves? And so this one guy in the chat was like, so because Taz and Twin disagree with Amiri, we have to agree with them. And I was like, that's not what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying is like they're men and they're disagreeing just like the women are disagreeing, but y'all aren't saying anything to them. Is what I'm getting at. Like I was like, Amiri can say what the hell he wants to say. I don't care how he sound. Like he can say what he wants to say, but it's like, why aren't y'all going at the Taz and Twin because they're disagreeing with him too?
Yeah, to me, Amiri can say whatever he wants to say. My thing of it is that the stuff should at least make sense though, because it doesn't make any sense to say that somebody, a group of men, shouldn't have to build. I mean, I get their situation in society. And I mean, obviously, we know to a large degree, Black men are the biggest victims of systemic issues. But still, I feel like there's things that they can do that the system isn't really preventing them from doing.
Yeah, and then like we were trying to tell them like Amiri really just reduced y'all down to y'all dick, and y'all are okay with that.
Like he really did, and that was so problematic for me because it plays on the stereotype. Like, do you remember? I don't know if you remember how there's always been a stereotype from white supremacy where they focus a lot on Black male sexuality, and they basically say because his natural propensity to be over sex, it basically short circuits his brain and ability to do anything else. And that's
Yeah,
basically what he's saying.
I think either you did a video or a live on that. It was one of those two. I can't remember, but I remember that.
Yeah, and he's basically saying that. Hey, Xander, he was basically saying that because it's like nobody should, because it wouldn't work anyway because Black men have other sexual options. So even if Black women stop having sex with them,
I'll just go to white women or something like that. Like
right,
really?
they'll just have sex with other races of women. It doesn't, because that's what they say they do anyway. Because they're saying they are saying that Black women have too many expectations anyway.
Mhm. Um, how y'all doing today?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Um, I don't know if I'm starting a business and I want to talk to you about it, Sam. But I'm very busy, so I
Mhm.
figured here will probably be better because you know what
Hey, you guys,
I'm
give
saying.
me a second.
I feel like it'll be better because I will never be able to find the time again.
Yeah, because it sounds like you kind of work a lot. So,
Yeah, I work a full time job, I work a part time job, and then I'm starting a business, so it's like a lot.
what are you trying to start your business in?
Okay, let me give you my little spiel. My business is a newspaper business. It's a subscription based service, so the people that are buying our news have to pay for it. And the money that people pay for our news, we use to cover our expenses, and then the profits we donate to a black owned business. Now, of course, the black owned business has submitted a proposal, but that's the gist of my business.
Hold on, I got to use the bathroom really quickly. So, hold on.
Okay.
I can't find anybody with a working car wash. Hi, everybody in the chat. Marquise, what's your business going to be about? I missed that part. I had to run in to see if the car wash was working, and it's not.
Sip, it's a news subscription service, so you subscribe to news that we produce,
Ah,
and the money that you pay, that people pay in, will be used to cover our expenses, and the profits get donated to black-owned businesses. And
oh,
of
that's
course,
not.
the black businesses have to submit proposals, but once it's get approved, that's the business, and we drop our profits into the bucket until the goal is complete, and then you move to the next goal.
Oh, okay. So that's what you and Sin are going to be talking about when you
Well,
get
see,
when you go back to the bathroom.
yeah,
Okay.
it's not
Well,
launched. It's not launched yet, but I've been doing so much work to launch it. I met so many people,
okay. Well, if you
but
need any help, let me know.
um, yeah. So it's very interesting.
Okay. Well, while we wait for Sin to get back, I'm gonna tell y'all the story of how I almost bitch slapped my coworker this week. Do y'all want to hear that before I get started? Guys in the
Oh,
chat, do y'all
I want to hear that too, Khadija. So go ahead, because I want to hear that. Mm.
want? Okay. So, Sin, you remember last week when we were on the live and I was telling you about that lady who who was like showing out because of this guy that we work with, right? Like I think she has a crush on him, and it's like really weird because she's like 60 years old or something like that, and the dude is like 30, and it's like I could be talking to him and she'll just like come and snatch him out my face and like that's my husband and all this and stuff like that. So last Monday was my first day back at work after I had came back from Philly,
Mhm.
and so I'm out of training now, and so I was he was asking me like, do I feel comfortable doing the job that I was assigned to that day and stuff like that because it was my first day doing it without my trainer,
Mhm.
and so she. So I understood what he was talking about, and I was just like, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm comfortable and everything. I'm good. So here she come talking about this isn't her first day being over there by herself. She's been over there by herself before. And I'm looking at her like, well, bitch, first of all, who the fuck was talking to you?
Mhm.
And so I was just like, and so I tried to be nice and explain it to her. I was like, that's not what he was talking about. He was saying that this is my first day being over here without any help at all. That's what he's talking about. Like, nobody ever said I was never over here by myself. And she was like, no, but you were over here by yourself and, just going off. And I'm just like, nobody fucking said that. And so she's just going on and on and on and on. And then it was like she was just causing like this big old scene. So the manager came over and she was like, do you feel comfortable doing this by yourself? I was like, yeah, I feel perfectly fine doing it by myself. I said, that's that bitch over there minding my goddamn business right now. So now she don't like me, and every time she walk past me in the hallway, she giving me a nasty look, and I give the look right back, first of all, and then second of all, it's like all you had to do was mind your business. And I was just like, I can't stand people like you because y'all always want to get in everybody's business. As soon as somebody tell y'all to sit the fuck down and mind your business, mind the business that pays you, now y'all want to be all mad and shit. And it's like y'all too old for this. Like y'all are old enough to be my mothers and my grandmothers, and y'all are just sitting there acting like a bunch of high school girls.
Yeah, I don't like the pettiness that comes and the cattiness that comes when you're in those type of situation, especially with other women. It's just like I don't get why they can't because it sounds like an insecure thing where she feels like
Mhm.
there's a threat, and it's like why can't you just be secure in the fact that your man isn't going to do anything to betray you?
He's not even a
Like there was a situation a while ago where I was at this party thing. I forget if it was like a New Year's Eve or what type of situation it was, but I was at this party situation and you know it was like a house party thing. There was this dude there. Mind you, I didn't know who the dude was with or whatever, but we were all in a situation and we were kind of just talking back and forth. So mind you, I have very little interaction with this dude. It's not like anybody was flirting with him. We were just kind of all standing and around in the kitchen having discussions and drinks with him. Keep in mind, I didn't even know that he was there with anyone or that he was married because it's not like he even said he was. But apparently, after the party ends and the next day, my best friend, because she was there too, is telling me that he had his wife there and she had a problem and she kind of felt like I was coming on to her man. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't even know you have a man there, first and foremost. And it's like, why? It's like, to me, why would you think that your man would at a party, your husband would be that disrespectful towards you?
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's my whole thing that I don't be understanding. It's like, instead of trying to check me, you need to be trying to check your man, because like he doesn't acknowledge you until you come and make your presence known. Like, that's
Right.
how.
Because it's not like, and I mean, I get like a lot of people at the party already knew him, but it's like I didn't know him. I had just met him there, and so it's not like I would have any idea of who he was with. But the thing of it is people were just literally standing around having regular discussion and drinks like you would at any social event. So it's like, why she would think that her husband would be that because it always boils down to, your husband or your man has the loyalty towards you.
Right.
And so it's like, why would you think that your husband would be that proud to you and do something while you're there with another woman?
Right.
Yeah, that's an issue within itself. I think personally that the black man that, well, not even saying that black man. I don't know the men that they're dating, in whether it's a Khadijah situation or a Sin situation. The men are giving the women enough respect to say, to know when they go out that, we still a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so,
Right.
and I think the man should be taking that role in a relationship. Should be letting what I mean, give enough security. The women should give the women enough security that they don't have to worry about petty stuff like that.
Right. That's what I was about to say. Even if me and my man go out, like, even if I was to see him talking to another woman, to me it would just be like, okay, he's just over there talking to her. It's like he don't want the bitch because it's like he has me over here. He don't
Mm-hmm.
want her. So it's like, I have that confidence and stuff. But see, the thing about this woman, her and the dude, if y'all hear something, it's the car wash. But like, her and the dude at work ain't even dating. He's just like one of the only guys at work, and he's fairly handsome. So it was, and then on top of that, when I was in training, she told me, like, she was supposed to train me one day, and she straight up told the people that she did not have the time to train me. And so I was like, so why now do you give a damn about what I do and don't know how to do? And so, like, I told my mom about the situation, and she was like, she don't care nothing about what you do and don't know how to do. She just wants you to stop talking to that dude and let it go. And like, and stop being all up in his face. And I'm just like, but when we're talking to each other, we're talking about work. Like, it's not nothing personal or anything. We're talking about work. And it's like, she'll just come and snatch him up out my face, talk about that's her husband and that's her man and stuff like that. And it's just like, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, I mean, and I'll put the link in the chat box in case anybody wants to come up here, because it's really just, we'll chat about various different things and whatever you guys want to. But yeah, to me, because if I'm in a relationship with a man and I have to worry about him going to different women or doing something like that that's disrespectful to me, when, like, why am I going to be with him?
Yeah, it's too much stress. Like, if I'm constantly concerned about you talking to other women and what you're doing when it comes to other women, then we just don't need to be together because it's too much stress.
It really is, because it's like, why would you want to put yourself through that? Because then if it's not one woman it's gonna be another woman. Like you're
Right.
always gonna have to wonder about a woman, and it's like you can't sit up here and fight every woman. You need to at some point be dealing with your man and addressing his
Right.
loyalty or lack thereof. That has to happen.
Agreed.
And a lot of them just don't want to. Like, I don't know if y'all seen Love After Lockup, but that shit, like putting like checking phones and putting tracking devices on people, and it's just like, why did you want to have to do all that? Imagine that.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm not going to do all of that. That is entirely too much.
Because if you have to do all that, that should already tell you the situation that you're in is not
Right.
stable anyway. That's not a stable situation to be in anyway. So why would you want to even be in? Like, I couldn't do it because I dealt with a dude that I couldn't trust, because once a person, breaks your trust, obviously that's a big part of the relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it because I was constantly wondering if he went somewhere, was he lying or something like that. Granted, I was still never the one that was going to be trying to put tracking devices or check his phone. But at that point, it's like, okay, I can't be with this person anymore
Yeah, it's too much. Too much. It's too much.
because I'm not about to put myself in a position where I'm constantly having to worry about what he's doing. Like it's just like, who wants to go through that? Nobody does.
Right. And it's just like, it's bad for me because it's just like, this is the situation at work and you got to go to work. So it's just like, you're kind of like, we're luckily not on the same shift, but it's just like, you're stuck looking at this same person for at least an hour or two before they get off or something like that. So it's just like, why are you
Mm-hmm.
making this so damn awkward? And it's just because my whole thing is like, look, I said it once and I'll say it again, bitch. If I wanted to fuck him, I would fuck him, and there's nothing you could do about it. So,
I mean, that's funny.
like,
I don't
there
know
is,
if he's going to make comments like that and she still feels secure. Well, no, because I mean, the man should be making her feel secure. So I'll take that back.
but see, here's the thing: she's like 60 years old and he's like 30, and he doesn't even want her. That's the thing. It's like, why are
No,
you always?
he's
And it's
that
like,
old.
huh?
He's 60.
No, she
She's
is sick. The lady
60.
who's giving me the issues is 60. The guy is 30, so he's like 33, I think, to be exact. So he's closer to my age than he is to hers. And so it's like she's the one causing all of this. And it's just like me and him are cool. But like
Mm-hmm.
when she sees me talking to him, she has the issue with it. And my mom, and then it's just like she looked like she done lived a hard life and stuff like that. So it's just like it's crazy. And my mama was like, my mama sitting there picking on me, talking about why you at work trying to take people men and carrying on. I was like, girl, boy, he's not nobody's man. He's not even her man. Like what? It's crazy.
Yeah,
And so
because you can't force a man to be like you can't do that, and people should know you're not going to force a man to give you attention. You're not going to force him to be faithful. You're just not going to force him to be loyal. And
right. And my thing was like, is he like making googly eyes, or did he say something to y'all on the side or something like that? Because I was like, I don't get that. We're interested in each other like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just like, girl, look, if something was gonna happen, it would have happened already. It's like I'm very open and honest when it comes to sex and stuff like that. So I was like, if I wanted something to happen, something would be happening right now, and you probably wouldn't even know about it.
yeah, I can't like, and see, in those regards, I really do think that a lot of black women need to, and just women in general, but I don't care about other women. I only care about what black women are doing, but a lot of black women really need to have different standards, because I know Nyla was telling me, and Free Spirit just mentioned it, and it's funny because I was going to mention it as an example. Um, on the show Love After Lockup, and I don't know how many people saw it, with the black man that was in jail who have the white baby's mom and two kids by her, and then he was sitting there dealing with a black woman on the side that
Mm-hmm.
gave her dignity to him. Um, and like it was so stupid because this is the thing. Nyla said she went on to, or no, not Nyla. My best friend actually said she went on to, because I was telling my best friend to watch the show. I was like, okay, you got to watch the show. The show is interesting. Watch the show. And when she said she watched it, she said she went and looked up the black dude's Instagram account. And they had. She said they had a bunch of black women on there talking about, well, if these women don't want you, then we want you. You just so fine, and thirst boxing over this, literally thirst boxing over this dude who, mind you, was in and out of prison and has 2 kids by a white woman that he's supposed to be married to.
As I have no standards.
It's just like, okay, like that just can't be this, like, you where, like, some standards have to come in, because first of all, I'm not trying to be with no black man who's even been with a white woman, let alone he's married to her and have 2 kids with her.
All right, that's you gonna be stuck. Both of y'all stuck with her now.
And
that's the whole thing.
Said they are always thirsty in his live chats. I bet they are. It's just like, and so it's like, so what? He was on the TV show. You saw the dust, and you just fell in love with it.
Right? Is the guy handsome at least?
He's not ugly, but to me, he looks too feminine. And quite frankly, he doesn't know what a man is. And he kind of alluded to that. Like he said, he didn't have no dad. He didn't see how, like, he never seen a productive marriage. So he doesn't know how to be a husband. And he doesn't know what a wife is or anything like that. And so to me, he doesn't know. He doesn't know how to be a man. And it's just like he's sitting here swinging around, like the stuff was so trash. Because even on the show, he's sitting there talking about how he doesn't like this white woman. He's talking about how he can't connect to her. He's literally comparing her to the black woman and saying that what he likes is that he can connect to the black girl. He understands her, but then he's too stupid or too cowardly to end things with this white woman. And he kept having sex with the white woman unprotected, knowing that he was turning around and taking that black girl's virginity.
Right. See, that would have been a no for me. And it's like a lot of dudes have no shame these days. Like I know this one guy, he wanted to take me out like a couple years ago, and he wanted to take me out. And so like we were talking and like over the phone and texting and trying to get to know each other, prior to the date and stuff like that. And so he told me that he feels like if he's not getting what he wants out of the relationship, then he feels like he should be able to go elsewhere. And I was like, well, if you feel like you're not getting something out of the relationship that you want, why wouldn't you say something instead of automatically going to another woman? Because that's not about to fly with me. So he, for one, couldn't answer that. And then what else did he say? And then he turned out to be aggravating as fuck. And then come to find out, he didn't have a job because it's like he kept on calling me. And I was like, I would tell him I'm at work, and I would call him while I'm on break or something like that. And he would turn around and keep calling me anyway. And first of all, I hate that. Like, don't be sitting there aggravating me while I'm at work. And so come to find out, he didn't have a job. And I was just like, well, you invited me on a lunch date. So how the fuck were you expecting to pay for that if you ain't got no damn job? Because I wasn't about to pay. Like, let me tell you something. I will pay for my damn food and leave your ass sitting right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just with certain women and things, and I think a lot of dudes are not really used to standards, and so it's like with certain women, I think they just drop the standards to kind of accommodate getting the dude.
Yeah, and like I have to talk to my dad and my brothers. I'm just like, is it me? Or is it like, or is it them? I was like, am I tripping? Am I asking too much? Or what's going on? And so my dad was like, I mean, he's like, no, some people can't live up to your standards. I'm just like, but these are basic adulting standards, though. Like they're acting like I want them to own their own business. It's like I'm just wanting you to have like your own house, your own car, and your own way of making money and stuff like that. And they act like that's too much.
Well, that's why I was saying earlier in the video, with the conditions, you have a lot of women who are not going to be able to find um, black men who are really self-sufficient like that, who don't need anything from the woman. And so that happens a lot because they are in a situation that's that is predatory. They are in a predatory system, but it's just like,
Hmm.
what do you do?
I mean, but
Well,
that's
it's
not a
like I
fault of the woman though. Like, and I mean, you saying that like women need to suffice for it, but that's not a fault for the woman though.
Well, I mean, it's not that. It's like I understand that, but it's like even after you take that into consideration, it's just like they have no desire to even try. Is what I have an issue with.
Some of them do.
Because like the
You,
last guy I was dating, he was saying how he wanted to go back to school and stuff like that. So I was like, we can make a plan and see, to make sure it incorporates you going back to school. And there was no follow through on his part. It's like I'm already working and going to school and saving up money and stuff like that. You're not following through with your part of the bargain. That is the issue.
The
So
first
it's just like,
the first dude that I dated, he was like, and this was like back when I was 18. This was like the very first dude I had ever dated. And he was the type to where he came from, and this is why I say, they can't sit here and the whole narrative of, oh, if he has a dad at home, then he'll just know how to be a man. Because he
mm,
came from a upper middle class two parent home. He was in college on like a football scholarship, so he was an athlete. But what he ended up doing is, because he BS his way through school and was trying to more party and focus on, just because this is a black dude, so he running through college campus, just doing whatever he wants to do, smoking weed, partying, you
mm-hmm.
know, yeah, but basically doing the whole college thing. So I, of course, stopped talking to him after a certain amount of time, just because it's like he was just doing the most. So I stopped dating him. So he ended up, and I found this out later. He ended up, because he didn't get drafted into the NFL. He actually didn't complete school at all. He didn't complete college, mind you. He wasn't paying for college. He was there on an athletic scholarship. So he could have just stayed in school and continued and at least got a degree, but he didn't do that. So he gets out of school, and I don't know what he was doing in the meantime because I wasn't talking to him, but he would always ask me to give him another chance and just be with him or whatever. So I think when I turned 25, because he kept asking me, and I was kind of tired of the older dude that I was dealing with. And since this older dude kept telling me, because I think he thought that he would flex, and he kept saying, oh, you need to go get somebody your own age. You need to go get somebody your own age. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to do that. And I was like 25 at the time too. So because the older dude was annoying me, then I gave my ex a chance. But let me tell you, that was 9 months is how much that lasted. Because this dude, he lacked ambition. He went from what he was in college to trying to like sell weed, um, to being like the weed dude. He lacked the ambition to where he didn't want to go put in the work to look for a job. He literally had one job, driving those big trailer things for Home Depot.
Mm.
mm-hmm.
So he had that as a job, but then he had left that job a while back, and then he reapplied for it. And when that didn't fall through, he just continued to do selling weed.
Sound like kind of like my ex. Like I've told this story several times before, so I really ain't gonna tell it again. But I was just so annoyed when he ended up not getting that job because it's like he was talking like he just knew he was gonna get it. And I'm just like, well, if you're out here smoking weed and stuff like that, and you know they drug test, like, don't you think you should cut back or stop so that you can get it out of your system so that you can be able to get the job? And he didn't want to listen to shit I had to say. He didn't get the damn job. And then he didn't tell me, like a mutual coworker that he's cool with told me that he didn't get the job. And I was like, I'm not even shocked, to be completely honest with you. I'm really not.
Well,
Because it's
and
like,
and
hmm?
then Khadijah later on, and this is years after, because what ended up happening is that he had got on my nerves one time, and I think I went to like an appointment, and he took my car, and he didn't come back during the time that he was supposed to, and I told him, "Don't take my car and don't go for a long time because I'm impatient and I don't want to wait." Mind you, he
Yeah.
had already done a whole bunch of stuff that annoyed me up to this point. Like he would act dusty and insecure, and like when I would visit him, because he lived in a different city. When I would visit him, I got tired of people, or I got tired of his reaction to people asking me why I was with him, or them telling him he was lucky to be with me. And because I
Yeah.
think of him being the college athlete, he was used to it being the reverse, where he's getting a bunch of attention. So there had already
Mm-hmm.
been a bunch of dustiness that I didn't like. It was just really irking me. The lack of ambition, the fact that I'm the type and have been the type to where if I wanted a job, I would literally, when I was in my early 20s, and this dude is like in his mid to late 20s. When I was in my early 20s, if I wanted a job, I would leave for the day and not come back until I had a job. He
Right.
wasn't like, so to me, he lacked the level of ambition. But
Mm-hmm.
this dude pissed me off that day. And I remember he took a train to come visit. He didn't drive down, he took a train to come visit. But I was in an appointment. He took my car, and then I'm sitting there having to wait. So I was at my wits end at this point. So I just dropped him off at the train station and let him go on about his day. Because I was like, okay, I'm done with this. So
Right. One simple little question you can do it.
some years later, I found out this dude even got more dusty by ending up having a kid by a white woman that he had a one night stand with, and then she ended up causing a whole bunch of drama and not even letting him see the baby.
Wow. Yeah, see, my the last guy I was talking to, he was super irresponsible, and I was just like, I can't deal. And like, I know we were having a discussion about that on Ren's channel one time because I was just like, I can't do irresponsible people. And so one of the guys was like, well, some people, some men need that woman to look out for them and handle bills and stuff like that. And I was just like, well, what the fuck would you do if you didn't have a woman? Is what I need to know.
I think what's more interesting for me is like what shoots a lot of men's ambition, because that's not something that you can be given or somebody can instill in you. Nobody can like work for you so much until you want to work for yourself. So I think it's very
Right.
interesting because you can have a you can there you can start off with ambition, lose it, and it's just like I don't know. But I definitely do second what
Yeah,
y'all saying.
they were like, some men just need the women to look out for bills and stuff like that. And I was just like, but this isn't a situation where it's like, y'all are married and somebody works and somebody handles all the bills. And, people just have like the little things that they do within the marriage and stuff like that. It's not like that. It's just like, we're just now starting to talk and you're already talking about you need help managing bills and stuff like that. And so I was just like, y'all always try to say that sometimes you just need women for that. And it's just like, that's basic adult stuff. And, that's basic adulting 101. So it's just like, if y'all didn't have an adult, what y'all would just let y'all bills go to the wayside or something?
But the thing is, this dude actually had his dad there. His dad was active in the home. Again, and especially in Washington, if you would have saw the area and the house that they lived in, it's expensive, but it's like this dude was just still dusty.
And some people just ain't shit.
Both
um
parents in his life.
what I want to say was that can we talk about my business a little bit more or
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, because I wanted to know, like, if
because
you're somebody was asking questions in it too,
yeah,
and
I had wrote them down because I was asking some questions. The one question that somebody had asked is what kind of news. So the news that we issue will be on the 1st and the 15th. It'll be deep, real deep pieces because people are paying for news. We believe that the quality has to be there. So instead of trying to regurgitate, or not regurgitate, but like push out news every single day, we will have teams that work on two deep pieces that go out per month, and then some periodical pieces that go out whenever they need to be. So it's not like a regular set time for those. But the type of news that we'll be covering will be progress that has happened in the community and progress that needs to happen in the community. I don't want to go after the crime because we already have a lot of crime play sources that cover crime, and we have Fox 2 News. We got like three news stations in St. Louis, and then the black people in St. Louis. Well, I'm not saying black people, but there's a news station in St. Louis called Real STL News, and they often beat Fox 2 News to like the established news sources to the crime scenes and stuff like that. So I hold on one moment.
Oh, hopefully when he comes back, I want to know if this is going to be an online or because I would assume it will be like an online based news source.
Okay, I'm back.
So this is going to be a web based news source, right?
Of course. I think to keep the costs down now is going to be a web based news source. Eventually, I want to transfer into print. If people prefer print, I think what separates businesses now is one, nobody's doing nothing new. It's branding and catering to the customer. How much can you brand your whatever you have, your product, and then how much can you cater to the customer? I think is what differentiate businesses right now. Somebody asked about being a nonprofit. I don't know if I really want a nonprofit because I know with certain nonprofits there are some stipulations. Like there's this guy who owned a church saying he has nonprofit status, but um there are certain things he can and can't say, like political things, and there are certain verses in the Bible that he can or can't talk about. But it's all in his stuff. I'm like, I don't know as a news organization, do if I want really censorship, if that makes sense. Um, what I'm gonna say was is that, but Sin, the reason I want to talk to you about it is because what I want, like for the stuff that get released periodically, I
Mm-hmm.
want well one, I want you to help me and I'm because right now I'm writing like a little not a, like a blueprint but outline of how we write news. So when if you notice like look with how you break down to decipher how they set up the news articles, kind of reverse engineering a little bit of that, if that makes sense.
Okay, say that again. You want me to do?
So kind of how when you was going through the videos breaking down how they make their news,
Mm-hmm.
just reversing that and setting up templates or rules to do when we make our news. Does that make sense?
I'm trying to understand. So, do you mean like because I break down is like the psychology behind what
Mm-hmm.
they're reporting, like the propaganda of it. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no, not that per se. I'm talking about like when you go, okay, see how they keep the critical details in the later paragraphs. See how they
Oh
was
yeah.
vague in the beginning, but then now they're getting more specific towards the end. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, and I don't know because it's stuff like I feel like what you doing what you do, you read a lot of information, so
Mhm.
you're pretty good at breaking down articles stuff and like that. So reverse engineering that in a bit. So that is what, and then what I was gonna say was is that, but yeah, that's what I really wanted to ask and talk to you about. I mean, we can talk that in email, but I really wanted to get that out and talk to you about that. Um, Making some type of outline and template of when we release news, not the deep exposés, but the periodical releases that we have some type of template when we talk about whatever.
Oh, so you want to know like the format of how it should could be done to where you're getting the pertinent information out there first.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's like and it's not like the format of writing; it's the format of like you said, like saying when they're dealing with sensitive like Black people issues, they
Mhm.
will be very vague at first and make it sound like something that's completely not until you read the whole article. So, in the same exact sense. So
Yeah,
yes.
because when it comes to reading stuff, most people are only going to they're only going to read certain parts. They're like most people don't read the a whole article. So if you're wanting to do it and it's going to be reading based, you're going to have to make sure you put the pertinent information at the forefront, and then like whatever is most important that you want them to know is going to have to be at the forefront, especially dealing with Black people.
Hmm. Yeah, and my thing is that I'm going to start off with just text, but I want to gradually go into videos and so people can consume the content multiple ways because that's again catering to the customer and making sure that they can enjoy the content. But what I'm gonna say was is that you can finish my unfinished website. You can visit my unfinished website if you would like. Um, is the daak.com.
If okay, spell that again.
The
Uh-huh.
daak.com. So it's the doc and yeah. And also what I was gonna say was that also and we can talk about that is also and through email is I also want to know about how I also want to know like if you wouldn't mind writing some pieces, and because like I've been getting some interesting stories, and this is a story I want to actually let you answer that question first before I tell that story. But I want to know if you wouldn't mind writing pieces
I don't think you should deliver the news on the 1st and 15th. I think you should do it more frequently than that.
more
Because
frequently. Well,
yeah,
go ahead.
because you're gonna miss out on a lot of stuff if you're just only doing it on the 1st and the 15th.
Okay, I'm writing it down. But my thing is that I want to really have a quality drive on our brand, but I definitely do agree.
Well,
But,
because if you think of it like this, they're gonna think they're getting old stories. If you do it on the 1st and the 15th, they're gonna feel like they're getting old stories, and to a degree they are because there's a lot of stuff happening on a daily basis that's not being covered, and then they're going to seek that news from somewhere
elsewhere.
else. It's
Hmm.
going to cause them to feel like, why are they going to your website to get old news? It does need to be in real time, and it needs to be current, like because there's gonna have to be a draw for them to go to you for the news source as opposed to everybody else. Especially when you have people doing video news and
Hmm.
talking about it, which a lot of people opt more to watch a video than to read. You have to think that you have to take that to an account too, especially if your market base is going to be Black people.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you would then have to do the research on how often do Black people read the news as opposed to watching it.
Hmm.
I mean, those are just what I would probably take into consideration.
Yeah.
But definitely, I don't think the 1st and the 15th is going to work. I don't think that's going to be effective because you're going to be missing out too much news.
And then be an overload at once of
Hmm.
information, and no one's gonna continue to read all that. And yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from. What I was gonna say was is that but would you? So my question is that periodically, would you not mind writing for the for the news for my organization?
Periodically writing for it.
Yeah, writing or
No,
producing even video content.
I don't know if I would be able to commit to it.
Hmm.
And then like I wouldn't want to tell you because I don't know if I would be able to commit to it, to be honest.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Um, what else I wanted to ask you? Okay. What I said was that what other thing I was gonna ask you about because that's pretty much what I talk to you about. If you don't got no any other questions,
Oh, I do.
oh
On the website it says
it's still in the rough draft form. So, which page are you on though?
this is just the main page where it says welcome, but it says we are an online newspaper that's educating the people of St. Louis. Are you just restricting it to local news, or are you going to
Oh,
do
okay.
international news too, or just national news?
Okay, so what I want to do is I kind of want to set this up how Fox has their news. So if you notice, every city has their own Fox. I wanted the doc to be in every city, starting in St. Louis because this is where I am and this is where I'm from. So, and then have one, let's say, for Chicago, and it's really local news. But when a story needs to be covered nationally, we can send the memo to send us to get this story covered nationally. Does it make sense? I really want to build a base somewhere first, and then, but somewhere online. And the reason I say is because we're gonna be donating to businesses that's in St. Louis, and I want people to see where their money is going. And but if people online feel as if they're inclined to do so, nothing's restricting them. They can still receive the news online, and we can ship them the T-shirts when they sign up.
Yeah, because I think you might want to because if your news is going to be based mainly local, then those are the people who are going to have the biggest interest in
Mm-hmm.
your subscription, and then you have to think about how much that's going to limit you if you just do local. So that should be, you should consider that as well. Oh, let me I'll throw the link in the chat for you guys for his news. Yeah, because that has to be that does have to be considered.
Saying if you click, you're on the website right now. So if you click the merch page, the merch tab, and then you're in the back end of the website, what it look like when a subscriber logs in. So it's three main parts of the website. There's a news page, there's the goal page, or the projects, the completed projects, and then the businesses. So people ask what will differentiate me. What will differentiate my business from other people's businesses is that we will have a list of the black-owned businesses in St. Louis and do our own review and issue them coupons for the businesses as well. So I've been working and talking with businesses, but um, I think that is the one thing that will make me interested and different. And this is also free to the public as well. So if you go to the main site, you can see it. You just will not get our review, and you will not get the subscribers coupons.
Like the welcome page, because I was going over. Wait, I can't give. What is when you look on here and it says completed project and goal suggestions?
That's
What are those?
what. Oh, when you under goals. So if you just click the goal itself, what this is a page. So let's say a business submit a proposal, like, okay, we need okay, or YouTuber submits a proposal like, hey, I do videos on YouTube, I need professional camera, and you submit a proposal or
Mm.
whatever, saying I need this much money, would you guys help me out? We approve it. This is the goal that we're working on. So all our profits gets dumped into this goal until the goal is met, and then we go and purchase the item or the service from that business for that business and give it to that individual or business. It doesn't have to be a business; it can be individual, but or organization or any type of entity. But and then under that, if you see completed projects, is the just the ones that have been completed, and
Mhm.
then under that is for the highest paid subscribers, they get the suggest goals, and it's only a suggestion because it's not like a you must; it's a suggestion only. But that's just what that is.
Yeah. So Helen said, "Is there enough stories though to keep it local?" That's something that you may want to. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
You
I mean, I
definitely.
think the news will not always be local, but I'm making sure I'm pandering to like the people of St. Louis. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So like, if there's people that's opened up businesses and some things that have happened that is not in St. Louis, but I think they'll be beneficial to the people of St. Louis. I think because if we have a lot of news that's negative, covering a lot of negative stuff, black people on Fox News in St. Louis always get covered in the bad light, but they miss details. And I think real STL news, they go back and correct those details and make them correct. And like, no, this is actually what really happened. But look, this I really want this business to be the looking forward for black people. Like, yes, people have dying people, um, and there's a lot of things going on, but we need to be looking forward and constantly building towards something. And this is, but ultimately, this is just phase one of my business.
Yeah, but it's good that you're asking for feedback on there because then you get to
Um,
understand certain
what part
things.
of St. Louis I'm from? I'm from the South Side. So, Sonny X, what part of St. Louis I'm from? But, it's funny because like if you remember me, I told you I went to all white school, and then I was really craving this all black experience. So I went to HBCU, and then after I left the HBCU, because I felt like I was wasting my time, it was to the point where I was teaching the class. We had these Indian teachers
Mhm.
who, and I think that was just crazy because you have the Indian teachers who learns this English through a white man's vocabulary through the book, and you have these black kids who learn their English through this white vocabulary through a book. So you have like a three language barriers that everyone's jumping just to understand the information. So so the kids will always ask me to teach, and the teacher would just come up to me and is like, "Here's the marker, you could go teach," because I dropped my like I was really into sports, really into business, so I dropped everything just to make sure that I can focus on school. So by doing so, I don't know, but I felt like by me doing that, I was wasting really a lot of time because you don't need a degree to start a business. But
No, you don't.
so so this is
Hmm.
oh yes, somebody just T Walker said SEO is very crime ridden, which may view be. There's a lot of like there was this article done. I think it's by St. Louis Post Batch. I'm not sure, but basically it's talking about how St. Louis has the most minority businesses than any other city right now. So there's a lot of black businesses in St. Louis. There's a lot of other like even not just black businesses but minority businesses. And St. Louis is the number one spot for startups. So um yeah, there's that. What I'm gonna say was is that did you have any more questions, Sam?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, my other questions I ask you, which I always ask you, is how was your book coming?
It's definitely coming. I just haven't been able to work on it because the past week I've been sick. So I'm gonna get to working on it again tomorrow. But it's definitely coming. I don't have that much left to write, but then I'm gonna have to go back over it and fill in a couple parts where I left markers to just do some notations on it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely coming.
All right, that makes sense. You gonna have a launch party as well. We are gonna come with our bags of dust. Let me stop playing.
Yeah,
Then you're gonna make it.
it's a tedious process for me. I'm finding it because I want to do it the right way, and I
Mm-hmm.
want it to be accurate. And plus, there's certain things like that come up. There's like new stuff that come up that kind of helps to validate a lot of the stuff that I'm saying in there from history. And so I end up having to go back and add certain things in there. Like I'm thinking about adding something about the US Coast Guard that was planning to that he said he wanted to kill as many people as he could. Like I think I'm gonna go back and include some of that in it. As a
Mm-hmm.
recent example of their propensity for genocide and just wanting like because nobody even provoked this dude. He literally just said his goal was to kill. Well, he wanted to murder everybody actually.
Yeah, that's just crazy. What and the reason what drew me to your content is because like you focused on very the psychology of white people, and with me going to a all white school, I thought that was useful. And it was funny because like I don't know if you met a white person in your life, but you wasn't wrong. You talk about like just just I want to say evil because I want to say complete evil, but just wanting to see destruction and then sexual degeneracy, and
Mm.
then it's just on the nose. And it's funny because I started watching your content in middle school.
Oh wow.
So, but like I'm like right now I'm 19. So I'm planning to get some the ball rolling on my stuff really quickly. I don't believe with a lot of older people when they say you need to wait plan out your business for 5 years and then start on the 6th year. I think that's waiting too long, because by then 5 years the market has already changed. 5 years technology has already shifted. 5 years the way people consume content is different. Like podcasts is now a way people are consuming quality content. So I just think I definitely do think that. Oh, there's this thing I want to tell you about. There was so when I was going to this, it was this convention. It was this meeting about black women and in the journalism. There was this black woman in journalism. She was down in St. Louis for the Mike Brown situation, and she worked with the local news company here. She moved down to like Jackson, Mississippi, with the local news company as well. And it was mainly all white. She said she was facing some discrimination. I want to sit here and tell her whole story, but it's a story I just want to it's a story I want to talk about. The basically she said she kept submitting stuff to her bosses and it kept getting rejected. They didn't even talk about them. Well, there's one story she made to her boss was about the suicide, but and news was about suicide, so they rejected it because it was classified as a suicide. And then the NAACP stepped in and said something about it. And what happened was that what she said what happened was that then they got to say something about it. And since it's her piece, she got to get on TV and start speaking about it. And she said she included this blurb for television because she said the information that the newsrooms have and the public don't have is criminal. She included this blurb of Jacoba the Berber is the only reason that the NAACP stepped in and said it's not suicide is because this young black man was hanging in the front yard of his white girlfriend's house. And
Mm.
I'm looking like, oof, big oof, because that's not suicide at that point. That's somebody sending the message.
Yeah, the thing of it is we just by and large, we
And then
really
you,
need to understand who we're dealing with, like we do.
I mean, that's what you just said. I thought is what I said to myself. I said, I mean, I don't know, because my thing is when that situation comes, you should by that point you should kind of not even that situation comes, but you should like you said, it doesn't happen out of the blue. There are signs that you see. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
I have some white friends, or I have some white friends, and I watch some black people that interact with them, like not not like the kids like we in school, but like the adults around their family, and like I'm looking like these are some coons.
T
And then
Walk, I want to read T Walker's comment. She said you predicted they that they were going to make black men the face of Me Too, and you were right. Instead of men worrying about hair, makeup, and personal life choices, they could have thwarted it. But there are black men who don't think that they're the face of Me Too.
mm-hmm.
They don't really see it as they're being made into the face of it. Although all we keep hearing them talk about is black men.
R. Kelly, Michael Jackson.
Hmm.
And
Because
and I think that was very I really dislike that because but I don't gotta get into that.
well, but the thing is, even if the Me Too movement started off with them highlighting white men, you don't we don't hear anything about white men yet. They there's a lot of black men who will say, "Oh no, these are isolated cases. It's not going to affect all men, all black men. These are just because of the people actually did something, not really understanding that it everything sets the tone for something, but they would
Yeah.
have to believe that they're actually being used as the face in order to actually do something.
Yeah, I was
Well,
about to say, I still don't think they have an issue.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't think they have an issue, and then that's very problematic.
And I think that people don't. I don't say I can't say people, but some people don't understand that. Like people like, why are you vested in how people look? I mean, but like ultimately, let's say if you take in how celebrity is parading herself, is how other people's going to view her. And I think that's the worst thing that we have out of our perception of us. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a lot of things that happen to us that people don't understand, and then the perception of us on top of that just is crazy and mind blowing. I mean,
Mhm.
because we don't, white people don't have to deal with bait trucks and bait cars in their communities, but black people have to
Shanice
deal
said
with the
they're
image of them looking like thieves every time something's going on. Um, Go ahead.
Shanice is saying that they're going after Kyle Massey, the dude that played Raven's brother on
Yeah,
Jersey.
I saw that they are.
I
Hmm.
don't know. But it's just
Also,
like, what can you do? Like, they don't feel like they have an issue, so it's just like, I mean, we like we can't run you down and make you do something.
Well,
well,
and that's
go
why
ahead.
certain things I just choose to not even talk about, because if the people who are affected by it don't think it's an issue, then what
What?
like why even talk about it though?
Yeah,
Like,
and
what
then
can you do?
it gets to a point where people are making jokes and they're only referencing black males as part of sexual degeneracy when that's
Mhm.
not the case. You know what I'm saying?
And they're still trying to make it.
So then now you're really the
It's some
face
black
of it.
men out there still trying to make it seem like, yeah, it's still some black men out there still trying to say that black women are their worst enemy. And I'm just like, okay. Well,
Um, I don't know. I definitely I think with how I think about black issues, I definitely agree with Sin. She kind of grew me into most of my thinking. I think there's almost very little I disagree with Sin on. I think I agree with Sin on a lot of stuff. I think I agree with Dr. Umar Johnson with a lot of stuff as well. But
I think I'm in the twilight zone when I get on YouTube. Sometimes it's just like, where the fuck did y'all come from?
It is such the Twilight Zone. Like it's a cesspool of drama and messiness. Like it's so
Yeah,
exhausting. Like it really
because
is.
even when
And
y'all
discouraging.
were arguing with Q yesterday, like when they were trying to, because like they were talking about the, I think she was like 72 or something like that,
Yeah,
and she got kicked in the face. He was like, sometimes it's acceptable, and then they were like, what situation is acceptable to kick a 72-year-old woman in her face? And instead of him telling the situation that's acceptable to kick the 72-year-old woman in the face, he got mad, and it's just like, well, you said it, so I mean, it's just like y'all can't stand behind what y'all say. And even like with the Lions, Sam, when you when Turf Orca was trying to talk to you, I was in Philly in the Cheesecake Factory, like, really, my dude, really? I was like, if you don't get all the way the fuck out of here, and I'm just like, I guess the Lions Den is supposed to be like where you could go and squash beef and solve issues, but I'm just like, it hasn't even been that. It's just a bunch of people coming up there complaining about dumb shit that they can't even stand behind.
um,
right. Well, and the thing of it is that's how a lot of them are. Like they can't tell you why they have an issue, and so that's why
And he used to talk so much shit in the chat
Mhm,
too. Matter of fact, you remember when I was telling you about one of the people in the chat saying that, oh, I was saying that you don't like, I mean, yeah, you don't hate black men, and
mhm,
he came up and was like, she doesn't, you're gonna have to prove that to me, and then so I had to cuss him out. That was him, and so I was
but
like, you done
he
sat
can't
there and did
he
all
can't.
of, and I'm just like, so you done sat there and did all of that. Now she's trying to figure out what your issue is, and you can't say, really? Okay.
um, what I was gonna say was is that so when I was talking to a news anchor about when I was talking to news anchors, I asked her what's the most like the most untold story in St. Louis that you feel that needs to be told or there's went unnoticed. She said, "Well, we have documented proof that while black people were protesting, the KKK was burning down the businesses and their houses. So while people out here playing, there are real people at work. I'm not even gonna call them some real people, but there's people that's really at work. I don't think this is you know what I'm saying? It's this not really a situation that is um people playing in.
Yeah, it's they're just way too much playing in general. Like it's so annoying, it's
Annoying.
draining. Like I don't
I'm
I'm at the point to where what if I was at the point of like what is the point in trying to highlight these issues if the response to it is just going to be like, okay, well, who cares?
Yeah, it's like you pointed out, and they get more mad at you than the actual situation itself.
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's like, how does that work?
It's very very draining, and it's like I just don't I I don't have time for it. I really don't because it's
Yeah,
so draining. They do have more of a problem with it. Like none of it, and the same thing happened with this dude Judas Redemption a while back, where he came on and I was asking him what his issue was, and he couldn't articulate it either. Like so, it's like y'all have it's they do it's just what you said. They have more of a problem with it being said than the fact that it's happening. But then
yeah.
if nobody talked about it, they would have an issue with that too.
You know what? Judas Redemption was the one I got into it when you were up there talking to Amiri, because I was trying to I was trying to figure out, like, why are Taz and, Twin, disagreeing with Amiri, but y'all are only coming at the women who disagree with him. So me and him kind of had a back and forth today too, because I'm just like, first y'all getting on my motherfucking nerves, and then what else was I about to say? Yeah, they're just doing the most right now, and I just can't deal with them.
It is. It's so ridiculous because to basically think that, I mean, because here's the thing, even if they're not building big corporations and stuff like that, you can still build communities. Like you can still, there's so many that can
Yes,
still
I
buy in a real
100% agree
estate,
with that.
You're
making
doing like
small
the bare minimum,
mm-hmm. Like they could, there could be something being done, but to say, well, black women are not independent because they rely on the same system that black men rely on, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, okay, well
you
then
know,
why,
again.
whenever it comes to why, then do they feel like they shouldn't have to provide anything?
But we're supposed to submit and all this other bullshit that they're talking about. It's just like,
Hmm.
it's like get the fuck out of here.
I think it's, but I think it's really, I do think it's interesting that I think that the young people, there's a lot of young people out here really pushing. I see a lot of older people on YouTube, but I see a lot of young people out here when I work here really pushing for um just owning businesses, whereas pushing out for journalism, and I will have to say it is a lot of young black women that's doing that because like we went to this convention for journalism. Well, you know what? It's a women's for convention. Forgive me, it's a women's for convention. So of course it's going to be almost exclusively all women. But there was a whole bunch of women journalists talking about racism in the newsrooms. So I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like how much work that these young people are doing, just these young women
Yeah.
are doing back here behind the scenes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean it's just bad that it's always the women. It's like, we don't mind having y'all back and stuff like that, but it's just like when are the men gonna get up and do something? Like honestly, I was done with these dudes on YouTube when they were complaining about how Sin was saying what she was saying, and then she offered to, I guess tone it down or whatever. She's like, look, okay, all the arguing is getting kind of old, so it's just like I'll change how I say what I say if y'all change how y'all say what y'all say. And they were just like, no. And I'm just like, the fuck?
Yeah, because that's
Really?
ultimately what it ends up boiling down to, where they want to just have a monopoly. And the thing of it is this is the thing though. They don't understand how this narrative that they go into, where they're blaming the women for everything and exempting themselves from actually having to build like men are building, it's a problem. Like Mary doesn't understand how problematic his statement was when he said that black men aren't building and they can't build anything because as long as black women are having sex with them.
Yeah, he literally reduced them down to their dicks. And the guys were in the chat agreeing with him. That's the thing. And I'm just like, he literally just sat here, reduced y'all down to y'all dick, said y'all ain't good for nothing else, and y'all just in here just like cupcaking and just applauding and everything. And I'm just like, that's not a good thing. Like, are y'all that stupid? Really?
Mm. Well, yeah, I wasn't there, but I would definitely need some more context. But I don't know. I would never say somebody's not building. I always think somebody's building on all sides. There is somebody out there working and building.
Well, they're certainly not on YouTube. I will say that. If
Right. Well,
they're
the thing of
certainly
it
not
is
on YouTube.
I would just want to see the results of it, because if
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
people out there building and we're saying that they've been building for a long time, at some point you would have to see the results of them building.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Just
Because
that's
like you
my
said, that one video that you
because
made, like
because
you
yeah.
still see the results of white supremacists recruiting. Like white
yeah.
supremacist recruitment went up. I don't know how much, but it was this video about this black girl in Missouri. She posted it was posted on Facebook about how they was trying to accuse her of putting up a white supremacist flyers around her own college,
Oh wow.
and
I mean,
it would just go ahead.
because otherwise they'll just be like these dudes that be like, I don't have a problem with getting women, yet they're on YouTube complaining about how women don't submit to them and carrying on. It's just like, which the fuck one is it? Like, I had to decompress from YouTube this week because it's like I was coming back, like I was driving back from Philly, and Ren was having her little thing, and like they were having a good discussion with Ren, Tarab, and Black Woman Sphere. And then Obsidian and BGS came on, and they just started the whole black female fuckery stuff, and I was just like, nope, not today. That I can't do it. Nope, maybe
Yeah, it's
not
that's the
today.
thing. The same conversations over and over just get kind of played out,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
it
And the
doesn't.
thing is, they were having a pretty good conversation until those two came up there. And I'm just like, y'all cannot have all these women and y'all can't have these wives and all kinds of stuff and just be on YouTube just whining and complaining all day,
Well,
every day. Like, I would tell my husband, get the fuck off YouTube. What are you doing right now?
I think and I don't know, and I think that's but I stopped watching a while ago because obviously I'm super busy. I got two jobs, starting a business, and but I definitely do agree. If I don't know, I like to hear more about the planning in the future. You know what I'm saying? And like really
Yeah.
plan it. And then but when you really get done listening to something and you realize that it was counterproductive, not really productive, then I
Well,
don't know. I just naturally ease away from it.
well, you ain't about to get that on YouTube, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and throw that out the
I'm
window.
But yeah, like with Angel first panel
Unless
video,
you
it was
start
really
like your
good. I
own
think
channel,
that was really good,
like
and I think her the second panel video
'cause
with Zaza was
you
an
know what,
issue.
I'm not gonna say that you're not gonna get it because I feel like that's a little bit unfair because there are people on YouTube. Like I watch Eating Cole's videos from time to time about like credit and stuff like that. So there are people, talking about it. It just doesn't get the traction like all the fuckery does. I will say that because it's like when somebody is trying to argue with Sin, like argue her down and stuff like that. Like everybody's there, but it's just like I noticed that, like Nyla said, a lot of people don't be in Edine Cole's lives and stuff like that. Like I'm not there all the time either because I'm usually at work or school, but it's like I definitely try to catch playbacks and stuff like that. But nobody really participates and stuff. Like they don't try to participate in anything worthwhile. And people have tried to go at Edine Cole too, if I'm not mistaken. Like, didn't they try to pull like a criminal record he supposedly had one time? So it's just like they're always doing something crazy on here, and then it's just like I wasn't sure how I felt about Gab at one point, but now that I kind of then got a little bit of a feel for him, I don't really like him
Yeah,
much
he
anymore.
flip flops too much. I just it is.
Yeah, it's like every time the Grinch comes in there saying something stupid, like I'll block his ass, and then Gab will come in talking about that was foul. And I was just like, first of all, you sound slow. Like you sound like you look like how you sound, just slow. That's one. And then it's just like when he was the one that said no to sins, kind of like ceasefire or whatever. I was just like, you know what? Y'all are so full of it. And somebody was like, well, he's not really a part of the manosphere, so he can't really say anything. I was like, but he did say something. I was like, how are you, agreeing or disagreeing to stuff, something that you're not a part of?
Mm-hmm.
Like, wouldn't you be like, I can't really say anything because I'm not a part of the manosphere, but you can ask them or something like that. Like he just said no, like he's a part of the manosphere, and not he is, to be completely honest with you.
I'm just all the way tired of Black YouTube being drama focused or somebody
Right.
always starting some drama because it's like I hate
Yeah.
drama. I don't start it, but for some reason there's always someone who has something to say or
Right.
a dislike or say it doesn't make any sense to me. It's like there's always
And
somebody
the
with
thing
drama.
is, they now have a platform to where they can get all that stuff out, but it's just like they would rather talk shit about it on like in the chats and stuff like that. And so when you're just like, come to the lion's den, or we can squash the beef right then and there. Like we can talk about it, squash the beef, let it go, or you can still be mad about it or whatever. I noticed that nobody really showed up. Like all the people that were talking shit and trying to call somebody out, none of them showed up. I was
They're
just
not
like,
going to because they thrive on drama. And the reason they thrive on drama, because in all honesty, Black people like seeing drama because whenever there's somebody with a title of a video or a live stream that has something to do with drama, that what they do is they flock to those things. Like they really do.
Agreed. I definitely do agree. I think that all people are prone to, let's say, very clickbaity and drama filled titles, but I think Black people would have a definite
yeah.
perception. I mean, not perception, but a weakness for that. Especially when
Yeah.
it's you click it. I mean, not even clicking it, but you see it's automatic. This is not gonna be nothing good is coming out of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's. It's not like, oh, we expose somebody for the better. It's no low. Let me expose somebody and start something, and then half the whole video is just this is just my opinion, by the way. Like, I didn't fact check nothing. This is my opinion. You know, so like at that point, you just wasted everybody's time and
Yeah. And it's
yours.
like I get super irritated when, you know, Sin or Nyla start a live and the topic it has like a potential to be like a very good discussion and it's like a much needed discussion, but then it's always that one person that just comes in and just flips the whole discussion upside down and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like I've been in and out of YouTube this week. I was just like, I need to decompress from YouTube. Like this shit is
Yeah,
getting to be
that's
too
why
much.
I'm not going to have too many. I don't know if I'm going to have too many more panel discussions because it always goes haywire, and that's not like I don't want to
That
have.
be your brand.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just don't
Like
want that
even
because I wanted to have a productive, honest discussion about the topic about
and they don't want that.
strong and independent. I wanted to have a productive back and forth on that. Like I didn't want for it to turn into a shouting and a war of words and like I don't want to do that. I want to have a discussion about stuff. Mm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because even like I think that was JV. She was trying to have a discussion about, black women valuing themselves and stuff like that. And I wasn't there for the whole thing, but apparently like they switched the whole conversation to like sex and stuff like that. And I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
I was just like, I can't
Um.
deal with y'all sometimes. Why is everything a joke to y'all? It's not like this shit is not even funny anymore. Like it's just getting sad.
Well, and there's no honest conversation that can be had because it's like I think with a lot of these men, the standpoint that they're coming from is very, very delusional, where they really believe that they should get the cooperation that other men are getting, but they shouldn't
But
have
we
to.
not. But you're not in the same position to get that though, and you're not even.
Right.
And you're not even in a position to enforce it either. You
It's
shouldn't be able to ask for something unless you're able to enforce it either way. You know. So like, it's like me asking
Right. Like what are
for
you gonna do if
some
we don't
asking for a
submit?
piece of land, but not be able to take it.
Right. It's like what are y'all gonna do if we don't submit? And it's just like, it's
I
crazy. And it's like y'all they don't even tolerate that from us. And it's just like and like I don't understand how they really expect us to sit here and trust men who are very, very happy and excited about the idea of black women losing food stamps. Like even though we weren't, like they were very excited about the very idea of us going hungry and going
well,
without
see,
losing out
and
on
I
food
think that's
stamps.
an issue within itself because then it's not really about the black women becoming more independent. It's about that I don't know. I really just like if people are getting happy about black women losing food stamps because ultimately that means black people need to step up more. The black men or the community need to step up more to fill the hole that was filling, and the fact that it is there, it was already filling a hole. You know what I'm saying? So I think that should look really. I don't know. Mm. Oh wait, okay. And I got a question. Hello.
We can hear you.
Okay, I don't know why I feel like I'm talking to myself. Um, for Cynthia and you, what do y'all think about nobody ever talked about Dr. Umar's school and stuff. What do y'all think about that? Because I thought that was something he accomplished buying a school even though it needs some work.
I
Yeah.
will reserve what I think until he actually puts the school up. But there's a certain amount of things that I think comes with a school where his timeline isn't really realistic. In
I can s-
terms of
I can say
the
that.
amount of stuff that needs to be done, it's not realistic. What he's saying, like his opening timeline isn't going to happen. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
And
I will say that I hope that it happens because I feel like it would be a good thing. But I feel like he's like if I feel like he's trying to do all of this stuff by himself so he can get all the kudos and stuff like that. And I feel like it's just a bit too much for one person. So it's like if he needs help, then he needs to say something because it's like you certainly don't have a problem with asking for donations and stuff like that. So why do you have an issue with asking help for anything else that you may need? Because opening a school and running a school is like it's a lot. So it's just like I don't feel like he can do it for by himself, and I feel like he needs to stop acting like he can do it for himself. And I also need him not to call us trifling anymore because you will not be getting my money and insulting me at the same time.
I, I know, okay, and it's interesting. I don't, but I don't think that he trying to do it by himself. But I think in more of a way, he trying to make sure that stuff is not. I'll say under his control. If that make more sense, I can definitely see that though. I think that, but I definitely do agree with seeing in the timeline issue because I think it's more a fantasy than reality. I think it can happen. There's always a possibility of that happening, of everybody coming together and donating all their money and making sure that something get up and off the ground. But I think the timeline may be
I
off.
think it
But
happens.
I
I
think we
just
should
feel like
celebrate stuff like this in the
realistic
community.
about it.
You said what?
I said I think it can happen too. It's like I'm hoping that it happens,
Yeah.
but it's just like I feel like he needs to be a little bit more humble and realistic about what's all because there's a lot that goes into a school. Like I'm not sure how
Mm-hmm.
much. I know it's a lot. So it's just like, I feel like he should be more humble. If he needs help, he should turn around and ask for help because like it's nothing wrong with needing help with such a big endeavor like that.
Yeah.
So I think he just needs to be a bit more humble. He needs to get a more realistic timeline. And if he's just having trouble, then just say that. Like it's not that big of a deal. It's like you see how many people are supporting you regardless. So just that alone should, give you the confidence to be like, look, okay, maybe I kind of bit off a little bit more than I can chew and I need a little bit more help. Because I'm pretty sure somebody out there is willing to help him.
Yeah, I definitely do agree. I mean, I want to say that I think he asking for help as well. He is asking like if he wouldn't allow to talking about if you want to work in a school and want my helping, come down, but you have to have your permission. You have to be certified and stuff like that. And saying that we can work out something. I think that's what he will probably relying on to try to open the school up. Because if I'm not misquoting him, I think his initial plan is try to open the school up this August. And
That's not about to happen.
then I think his second plan is open up next year. I think next year will be more susceptible. I think that August probably could happen a lot if he could not worry about the finances and just all the money would just be there for it. But
Well, I mean
um
that's
that because
nice
I think
and
it's gonna be
stuff
a whole
like
bunch of
that,
more
but
paperwork just ironing out
money
the
doesn't just
creases.
fall out the sky. So I mean, money has to be a thing.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely do agree. And because you gotta talk about you getting permissions and stuff, and then you gotta talk about the hurdles that you have to jump because you are
Yeah. And
Dr.
you have
Umar Johnson.
to,
You
you have to
gonna
make sure the building is you have to make sure the building is safe. You have to make sure there's no asbestos, no mold, nothing, anything that could make somebody sick or kill somebody. Like
mm-hmm.
you have to make sure like the actual building is safe and stuff like that. So I don't think it's realistic.
Yeah, I mean, especially to have enough because black people get criticized for more than enough. So you have to double check or triple check a lot of stuff, and I don't think that the timeline will be susceptible for that. But
Mm.
um,
But I don't think
I
anybody's just criticizing Umar for no reason. It's just
mm-hmm.
like he was kind of rude, and then somebody says something, and then he kind of doubled down on his rudeness and stuff like that. So I just, people have I guess, a right to question him, and I can understand why they're questioning him and stuff like that. Because quite frankly, you don't get to insult me and then be like, you're trifling, you ain't shit, this, that, the third, and the other. Oh, by the way, can I get like $1,500, as a donation? And it's just like, no, no.
I mean, and I haven't seen that, but I definitely do think when you own a business, you should carry yourself in a different way. Or whenever you own a business, but when you starting something, you should carry yourself in a different way. But um,
When you're asking for anything from anybody, you should carry yourself in a different way because it's like we don't have to give you this money. It's like you need us more than we need you.
and
So
and I think that and even like with Cynthia, she has her own YouTube channel, but she carries herself a different way. I think it's going to come with the individual, and every individual have their own little issues. But like Cynthia, when she come on YouTube, she has facts to prove what needs to be said. Wherever she ever got challenged on something she said in the video, she pull up the information inside of her source. So it wasn't like it's like, oh, I was wrong, but here go the source that I pulled it from. All right, but here's the update. So you know what I'm saying? But I think, but you got other people on YouTube that don't do that. So I just think it's gonna really come down to the individual. But when you do enter that light, you have to put yourself portray yourself in another way. But um Anybody that's doing something positive, I support. Though.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, YouTube has just been crazy these past couple days.
It's just been crazy for the past few months. It really is draining.
That
Um,
decompression this week made me feel really, really good. Like I only came in on one of Nyla's chats on like a Thursday, I think that was, but for the most part, it's like I was in and out. Like I haven't been on YouTube a lot. I was just like, I need to decompress. This stuff is just bad for my mental health. Like I can't deal.
Yeah.
yeah, it's becoming beyond beyond toxic. It really is,
Yeah,
and
and
it's
people think it's a game.
mm,
People think it's a game, and I'm just
mm,
like, I can't deal. And and some people are just like, you don't have to deal with these people outside of YouTube. But I'm just like, that's not even the point. It's just like these people are out there somewhere.
Yeah,
right. That's what
it kills your
it
psyche to see like,
is.
okay,
They
this is what
are
we're
out
dealing with.
there. Mm.
Yeah, because like I went to Philly and somebody was like, "Oh, Obsidian is in Philly." I said, "Oh fuck no!" I was like, "I don't know if I'm coming no more." I was like, "What? Nuh-uh." I'm like, get y'all, you Philly people. This y'all problem. Get y'all peoples. Like,
Yeah,
who let him out the
I can see
base?
that, but yeah, I can see that being very disheartening. That you can just know like, oh my gosh, this is what we're dealing with.
Yeah, because everybody just tries to play it off like, "Oh, these are just people on the internet," and it's like, no, these people are actually out here somewhere. These people could be like in the state that I'm in for all
These
I
people
know.
are affecting our future, and
Right,
affect,
and it's
and
just like.
then
And I'm just like the younger people are seeing this and they're taking it to heart and stuff like we know not to pay their dumbasses no attention, but it's like it's a younger person out there that doesn't know that. So it's just like
hmm
it's crazy and it's scary, and for people to just kind of like dismiss it like it's just the internet. Like people out like these aren't people out in the real world, and then people out in the real world aren't also seeing this foolishness. It's just like a little asinine to me.
hmm
I'm just like, I don't think y'all should just like downplay it and let it go that easily because this could easily become something much, much worse.
yeah, I don't know
I just
how
wonder if
so
the black
though.
people are ever gonna get it together. That's
I
what
mean,
I just
yeah,
wonder.
that's the same comment that Cynthia always makes. What I was going to say, like, how much more will it take? You know?
Yeah. Even with the discussion with Amiri, I was just like, y'all, we're fucking doomed. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all anymore at this point. I hate to have the defeatist attitude, but we might be fucking doomed.
Well, if black men moving relies on black women not having sex with them, then yeah, that's not gonna. We are doomed
Right. Like y'all just
because
won't go
that's
have sex with somebody else. Like I don't get that.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like okay, that would be effective if they didn't have other options of women to have
Yeah.
sex with.
Yeah.
Then that would
And do
And
you
that
then
would.
it's,
know?
then you got to keep in the fact that that the power structure right now is promoting interracial dating. Like,
Mhm.
even though I don't think it's happening, like it's funny because I'm in the city of St. Louis. I I'm not really in the black. I want to say I'm in the middle of the black community in the white communities because I have two black parents, but I was bused out to white schools all my life. And like I have like one white friend now left that's left. But my point I'm making is that when I go out, I'm my housing is not really in the black community. So when I go out and look around, there is a lot of interracial couples. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell they're newly formed and young people. But I don't think as much as there is in black couples, but you can tell it's definitely being promoted. Every every ad has a black couple, even if they have a white father and there's a black daughter, that's implied, you know. And I think that people don't pick that up, and you're seeing how hard white people are promoting something. And my what I was I was talking to my grandma. We was having a conversation. Like I was like I don't think black people should do this because X Y Z and these reasons. Because white people promoting something for black people is automatically like if they promoted it, is a benefit of them and almost exactly the demise of us. And how 50 years ago, not even 50 years ago, but there was assault regulation to see make sure black people don't mix with white people, but now it went to the reverse of hanging black men that slept with white women to now the promotion of it. Not even the acceptance of it, but the promotion of it. I think that's an issue within itself, though, that people should just automatically see coming.
But see, here's the thing: even if they're promoting it, it's like, why would you want to be with the people, be with people like that after everything that they've done to you? Like, I don't understand how y'all are okay with that.
I don't either, but you let Nick Cannon tell it that made them want to be with them more. So to Nick Cannon, that was an aphrodisiac and a try there was like pheromones to them for them to be getting murdered, hung, and killed for being around white women, according to him. And so it is where that's why I say they think that they look at it as symbolic of they've won, they've conquered something,
And
he transcended the
everybody
race
is just looking at
barrier,
them like,
but
what the fuck are you talking about?
nothing.
Yeah, everybody's just looking at them like, what are you really?
Yeah,
They're the only ones that feel that way though. Like that's crazy.
yeah. Agreed though. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that black people should be suspicious and cautious of everything that's going on around them, given the circumstances that they in. Like this, like, and then, but like you said, there's people thinking like, oh yeah, we dating white women, but like even Cynthia was saying, I think it was I when going to this black school, it was like a bus of us black, like no, it was like a nice amount of us black kids going out to this white school, but it was funny because like the black men that would date the white women wouldn't give would, and I think it's for all interracial couples, they will always, even with the black women, would always give their white partner way more lenience than they will give their black partner. You know what I'm saying? So like they will be way more like, oh well, to play stuff off or have less standards, or with black people there's more excuses as to why this won't work, or why this black girl is ugly and bald head. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I just,
Well, quite frankly,
so it's funny because
I'm tired
when
of
you
hearing
was going
you.
through that, it's like when you was going through that, it's like when you was going through that little psychological thing, it's just so funny because you was doing black people and white people, and I feel like I saw the mix of it, but I don't know. I think I was personally surprised when I went to all white school, so a lot of like black people, I think all black people are gonna suffer from the effects of white supremacy. White supremacy tell you to value white. You cannot say on one hand value white, value white, value white, and then you don't value black people. I mean, or you don't devalue everything else. It's like if there is a privilege, the if everybody is equal, there is no privilege. But if we can acknowledge there's white privilege, then somebody's oppressed somewhere. And so I just I feel like saw a whole bunch of the side effects of black people in the white schools, like clinging to titles clinging to titles and name brand stuff. And then when I wanted to go to a black school, I thought some of that or a majority of that would disappear or dissipate, and I was dead wrong. They still
Mm-mm.
suffer the same exact things, even though they not in direct contact
You would
with
think,
white
you
people.
would think certain things would get better, but it doesn't. Stuff just gets worse, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just like I don't
I mean,
understand
the school officials was
some of
just
these
great.
people. Like even
Go ahead.
like there's this dude on YouTube that I really don't like. They call him the Grinch. I can't stand him.
I
I
don't like him either. He just sounds
can't.
dumb to me.
He sounds so illiterate, and then it's like he has a list on top of that. Like I don't like him, and it's just like that one time him and Black Woman Sphere went at it, and come to find out I think he's biracial or something like that. I said, oh really? And then somebody said something that he didn't like, and he just like flew off into a tirade about black women. He was like, you black bitches, and just like all kinds of stuff. And I was just like, fuck you, you half breed ass mutt. And so it
And
was
you
just
can tell
like,
he's insecure about that too. Being
yes, and Black Woman still kept repeating it and kept repeating it, and he just got madder and madder and madder. And she was like, you're biracial, you're not black. She just kept repeating it. And I was just like, keep letting his ass know. And so everybody's just like, you need to listen to him because, he's really for black people. And he tries to say the same thing too. But I'm just like, first of all of y'all in here taking up for him are full of shit. If y'all think that he is for black, if he is for black people at all after the way he just like went off on black women, like I got a fucking bridge to sell y'all. Like fuck him. He could die in his sleep tonight, and I wouldn't feel no kind of way about it. Like
I
really.
mean, but I mean, with black, and I would say with black people, I can feel like everybody gonna have those moments where they get fed up. But I think patience with our people is gonna be. No matter what type of
But
person
he,
or leader in the
but yeah,
organization,
but
they will need it.
he's been like that, and he thinks it's okay.
Yeah, and like even because everybody has their little moment, but I think patience is needed. Like when you talk about Dr. Umar Johnson, or when you talk about a lot of people like just having a moment where they just slip and just just like
No,
fall
no,
into
no,
the
that
rhetoric.
no, 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 no. That was not no
Don't
that. That's what he does.
just so
That's
he just
his
does it
thing.
on a regular.
That's his thing. And yeah, that's
Okay.
what he does on the regular. And then he was trying to make it seem like, oh, I care about black people and stuff like that. And then somebody
Well,
said
see,
one thing
then
that,
the people that
mind
watch
you,
him was
he had
delusional
been
because you
insulting
can't do that.
people. Mind you, he had been insulting people all fucking night. He insults people all day, every day. But the minute somebody says something to you that you don't like, now all of a sudden you're mad and black women are black bitches and stuff like that. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean, well, then at that point, then the people are delusional as watch him. You can't watch somebody that continuously
Like, I
continues
cannot.
behavior and then defend that person saying that they for the people. I mean,
And then it's just
somebody can have a
like,
good heart, but at the end of the day, it's going to be about the actions they
I
produce, not the
also,
words.
what I also don't like about him is that he thinks he's so much above everybody because he went to college. And I'm just like, okay, fine. I'm in college. First of all, that doesn't make me better than anybody. You went to college and you still ain't shit. So now what?
But he's
I was
not
like,
even smart. He's extremely stupid though.
right. And I'm just like, you're nothing but a half breed ass mutt that thinks you're better than some damn body just because you went to college. Like, I went to fucking college. You're not better than anybody. Like, really. It's like, if you were so much better than somebody, you wouldn't be on YouTube. You wouldn't be on YouTube doing what you do right now. I feel like you would be doing so much more with yourself. Like, if you would actually be out community, if you were that much better, you and your college education. Shanice, he does sound mentally challenged. He sounds like a whole idiot. And
Hmm.
then people, oh, you roasted him. Grinch roasted the show. I'm like, he didn't roast any fucking body. Like, what part of this is funny to y'all? It's like he's not funny and he's not clever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's not.
Like,
Like I
really.
was trying to, like, to me, it's just like a remedial little kid just being dumb, taking any, like, I can't, though certain people, I cannot, I can't, like, it just, when I see the people who congregate and the mentality is so, it's just
Yeah,
exhausting.
Make it worse, he can dish,
drains you.
can't take it. He dishes it out, but he cannot take it. Because
Hmm.
he went off at the very fact that Black Woman Spirit told him that he's not black, and it's just like, well, you're not black. Like, you're not.
I mean, but I can see that being an issue. Not even seeing that being an issue. I can see anybody reacting to that though, because black people have such an identity problem with knowing that being African American, you're not the African that got on the boats, and the same African that got on the boats, and the same African that got off the boats, the same African that got off the boats that got on the plantation, and the same ones today. So you're not black, but then every day in America you get shown that you're not white. So I think black people personally right now have an identity issue. So
Well,
then
he needs
when
to take that up with
black
his mama and daddy, not us.
well, yeah, and then when you are
Like,
a
I have
mix of
no sympathy
both,
with,
and
like, I
then
don't
someone
even,
tells you you're
no
not
disrespect,
this.
but I don't even care what you say in his defense. Like, I don't fucking like him. Like, he's disrespectful. He's an asshole. He's not smart. He gets on my damn nerves. He disrespects everybody. And as soon as somebody says something disrespectful to him, he has an issue. Like, fuck him.
Hmm.
He can take a long walk off a short cliff.
Well, I'm not just talking about him.
When he said that, when he said that woman spear was wrong about the mitochondrial DNA, I was just done. I was completely done because I'm like, this dude is just
Yeah.
really,
Like,
really.
you're for black people, but you don't want to give black credit. I mean, credit to black women for anything. Like, dude, fuck you.
Hmm.
I'm
Well,
over
I
him.
wasn't really talking about him. I'm just talking about in general. So I can see that triggering anybody. Is what I'm saying. I can see somebody saying something like "you're not black" or "you're not this" or trying to tell somebody that how they identify is not who they are. I can see that
But
triggering anybody.
that's the problem right now. Like, black people allow any and everybody to disrespect them and then just come back with open arms and stuff like that. Like you can't sit there and wonder why nobody has any respect for you, and then everybody's just disrespecting you. Like, I mean, y'all just let any and everybody do whatever they want and just come back with open arms. Like, fuck how the hell they treated you. Like, you could come back and, like, all you have to say is one little thing and you're welcome back into the black community. Like, no, stay your ass where the fuck you were at. Like, you're not for black women, you're not for black people. Like, fuck him and anybody else who feels like that. Like, just fuck y'all. Like, really.
Yeah, I just don't know why certain people, when we see that they're not for the community, why we can't just get rid of them. I don't understand why we can't just
Pay
discard
them
them.
no mind,
Not that hard. It's not that hard. It's really not. It's like, how are you this nice to somebody who's not? I'm not that good of a person. I can't be nice to people that don't like me. Like, I can't do it. I'm not, like, I am not that good of a person.
Mm-mm.
Like, I can't deal. And then on top of all of that, you're disrespecting me to my face, and you still expect me to, deal with you like that? No, fuck out of here. No.
Yeah, I can't do it. Yeah, I can't. I'm getting off of here to go to relax for a little while after, like in a little while. I think I'll go until because it's almost 10, so I might as well go until 10. But I just need to relax because yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like I'm very disappointed in that panel earlier because I just wanted it to be a cordial dialogue, but I do feel like
Mm.
a lot of the stuff like that Amiri says with regard to that topic is just really weird. And I just wonder because it's him. I'm starting to lose my voice with the because my sinuses is still not cleared all the way up, but he's gone back on every single thing that he said like in the past. It's just a blatant contradiction, but to not see how damaging it is to promote our men, not like how is it asking too much to just ask for them to build things so that they don't have to complain about systemic issues? Like why
yeah.
is that wrong?
I,
When you said it was going to be with Amiri, I was like, oh, the fuck it up challenge is about to happen.
Well, because I did it because he was in the chat room of the last live stream that we did. And when we were talking about the one with the chick and the white dude in Texas, he was in the chat room talking about how is being strong and independent working for you.
But it's like I said in the chat, I'm just like, they're like, white men are out here, I guess defending themselves against black women. They're like punking black women or whatever. And I'm like, but they're out here punking y'all too. Them and white women, as a matter of fact. So, like, what's the
well,
tea?
yeah. What's new? I mean, I, I don't know, but what I do want to say is that, but me, I support anything that's positive. Like I'm always every time I get on the panel, I'm asking Cindy about her book because I want to see about something that she just created. I think that book's going to be really well. That's why support any progress that's being made because I mean tomfoolery is going to happen regardless, even while progress being made. But
Yeah, I think I'm gonna decompress this week too, because this is like taking all this
Yeah,
stuff
there's some
personally.
decompression that's definitely needed because
I'm gonna decompress because it's like I was trying to listen to Ren sing last Sunday while I was driving back home. I was like, okay, I'm gonna listen to them while I ride back home and stuff like that. But I was just like, nope, I'm gonna listen to my tunes
like
instead.
it's annoying because an honest discussion just can't ever be had about
Yeah,
anything
and
if
I'm just like,
men
it's
have
like
any count.
no, like y'all don't see anything funny about how sometimes we're having a good discussion and then you let certain people on the panel and then it just goes like it just turns into like a clusterfuck. Like,
Yeah, I can't do it anymore. Like I really
hmm
can't.
I think the one good panel I watched was Angel channel panel, the first one. That was I feel like that was a really good panel because everybody got to talk about their issues. And then when people talking about start talking about solutions, then it was really nice because everybody calmed
exactly.
down. Everybody didn't agree, but and I think um, the second panel with Zaza on there, I felt like that was good, but not as good because you could tell that Zaza or it felt like it was another conversation that needed to be had it by the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
I like Angel. I know he made
Well, yeah, I
a
do like him because he put. I mean, I like Angel in the fact that he puts out all his content. Now, I don't consume all of his content, but the content he put out is very good though. Because
it does.
is
I gotta
doesn't
watch this stuff. I
hasn't
gotta
missed
watch
a
this stuff
day.
in bits and pieces. I gotta watch this stuff in bits and pieces. The Angel can talk.
Yeah, but the thing of it is with Zaza on that panel, like that was, yeah, I think it was really interesting that she wanted to have that dialogue on the panel and she wanted to, which I think she wanted to just flex for the men up there because when it got to doing when Angel presented her and said, okay, well, since you have stuff to say, do you want to do like a one-on-one? Then she backed out of it.
Yeah, and but you could tell in the panel that conversation need to be had. It that's why I was like, you know what I mean. And I but some more stuff happened with that person and some later down the line. So it was like that will always happen. But I think that but I do think that I don't know. I really do like the panels that that has a show progress or something being made, something being done. But
I didn't watch that. I didn't watch that debate all the way through, but I know Angel made like a live, and he was going off because he was pissed off because I think something happened with Just Hilarious or whatever, and I guess it was at one point she said she wouldn't support black businesses, and so they had canceled her or whatever. And he was like, I may not support her or anything, but I would never come out against her for another race of people. And that's what y'all are doing. This is like, why he was like, black people, why do you always feel the need to defend somebody else instead of your own? Like, even if you don't say anything, that's better than what y'all are doing right now.
hmm
Just
well,
like,
see, and that's what I like about Cynthia because when she don't like something, don't agree with something, like the one rule, you say something positive or you shut up, keep it to yourself. Like
yeah, I
with
just don't comment it on it at all. Like, I have my personal thoughts and stuff like that, but I definitely wouldn't. I
but you won't.
wouldn't come out in public and say like that's really. Angel was pissed off, and he was like, "Y'all are getting on my nerves." He was like, "This is why we can't get anywhere. This is why people laugh at us, and this is why people don't take us seriously because y'all will cape for everybody but your own people." And I was just like, if I had some money for every time I have heard this being said, I would probably be rich right now. Like college tuition would be nothing for me. Like it's just ridiculous. I'm
College
just
tuition will be nothing. I'm
Right.
crying.
It's like how many people do y'all need to tell y'all the same thing over and over and over again before y'all get it? Or like do y'all just not care? Because I'm starting to think y'all just don't care.
hmm
Well, I think for the most part, there's just a lack of care. It really is. There's just a lack of caring, really.
So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
Angel,
think,
Angel went
I
off
think,
on
I
that
think
dude.
it's, I think that people, hold on, let me give me a second, get my thoughts together. I'm over writing stuff down.
Yeah, I think that by and large, black people just really don't care, and it's discouraging. And it's just like, well, what do you do if a group of people don't care? Then how do you navigate to address societal issues? Because in that discussion, there was absolutely no responsibility or any standards put on the men at all. Like nothing that they should do. Like Mary literally said, the only thing that he thinks that they should have to do is be more selective in who they have sex with. Really.
Yeah, he flipped
Well,
the whole conversation upside down. Like I was so
well,
like I felt like
Amiri, I don't know that, like I haven't seen Amiri recently, but I don't know, it just sound odd off. You know what I mean? Like him saying something like that, but I don't
yeah,
know.
I had to. I know Raya went off on him in the chat too because he was saying that people just started attacking him, like the women just started attacking him and stuff like that. And Raya was like, no, nobody just started attacking you. You started going into spaces with like people who are swirlers and feminists or whatever the hell she said. She was like, you started going into their spaces and attacking them first, and then they came for you, and now you're mad and trying to play the victim. I said, ooh. I said, "Oh, okay. We'll just call him all out. That's fine."
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense to switch up. And if you went, and if anybody went to his channel and looked at all his prior videos, um, then you would see how contradictory the stuff that
That
he's been saying.
sounded that he,
Mhm.
well, because I didn't hear it, but I don't know. It just that I don't know. I don't. like I said, I don't be on YouTube a lot. Only person I watch is Cynthia, and I go and nitpick and pick around and what other people I watch. Dr. Umar Johnson have a YouTube channel. He just, but I really do. I don't know. I just really watch what Cynthia put out, but on her Patreon. But I don't know. But for the lives that Amiri has been on that sins, it does just sound very odd because Cynthia wouldn't even put herself around somebody like that puts out that type of information. So I don't know. Just seem odd to
Yeah,
me.
I know Rob Perkins did a very good live stream yesterday. Me and T Walker were just talking about that, but Rob did a very good live stream, and he was just like, you don't deserve women just because you go to school and get a degree and you have money and stuff like that. Like some of y'all have shitty ass personalities and y'all are trying to shame women and shame women into I guess getting with the educated lames or getting with the six-figure guy or the nerdy guy or whatever. And some of y'all personality ain't worth a damn.
Mm.
And I was like, somebody let them know because they not getting it when we say it.
Yeah. I'm just like tired of the drama, the educated lame narrative. Like we can't get anywhere unless like it's a mutual thing between black men and black women.
I,
But
I definitely do agree because, like, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Saying, go ahead.
yeah, I was just, we're not going to get anywhere. That's just the reality of what it is. We are not going to get anywhere.
I I think that black men need to look okay. This is where a black man be like, this is where we fall. This is our faults. This is what we good. This is what we good at doing. This is what we don't feel comfortable doing. Same thing for black women. I think, like you said, I think an honest conversation needs to be had for moving forward. I don't think black men are perfect. I don't think black women are perfect. And my thing is that like in the system of white supremacy, you will have to heal before you have to continue fighting. But you will never be able to heal. Like I was talking about people with self hate. Every black person internalizes self hate some type of way. You are taking all this information from all different places, some way that you are internalizing self hate. You will not be able to heal from the system of white supremacy until it's destroyed. But you must heal enough to keep fighting, and that's what I think what needs to take place. A little bit of healing to keep fighting.
But see, they don't really a lot of black men don't extend us the same courtesies that we extend them. Like we try to be as understanding as possible with them. But when it's like the situation is reversed and they don't understand that, a lot of black women did things out of necessity and for survival and stuff like that. And they just think they did that, black women did what they had to do just to fight black men. And it's just like, no, that's not the case.
Yeah, agree. And also, I think that
Like black
people
women
need
don't just
a really good history lesson.
yeah, black
Hmm.
women don't just wake up and be like, how can I fuck over black men today? Like we don't do that.
Well, and like
Well,
I don't think black men wake up to that or black women wake up to do that. I think a lot of people agree from a whole bunch of different perspectives, and I think there's been people that put out false information, and a lot of people run with false information. Like, and it's sad to say with Cynthia and that Cynthia said. When me we're in a news organization, people like don't really read. Like people
No,
don't read and don't pick up. They don't value information as much. Inf- Information changes situations. So, mm,
all right, I'm about to jump off because I am tired and I just want to lay here for a minute and decompress and then go to sleep and kind of like come down from YouTube land. I'm
okay.
trying to debate if I want to just take the day off of YouTube in general tomorrow because I'm kind of worn out from it. But
um,
uh,
I am.
Cynthia, I got a question for you. Go though.
mhm.
When do you plan to release your book? Though, when you like set your own little deadline? When you like, okay, around this time, expect my book.
I'm trying to finish like writing it within the next month, really. I'm trying to finish having it completely written. So all I have to do is go back over and do like the little fill ins and then start looking into self-publishing. That's I'm trying to get it done like soon. But my thing is like I don't want to rush it and make it done just to have
Mm-hmm.
it done and then not have the quality there.
Yeah.
Agreed. Same thing with my
But
community.
I'm gonna start working, getting back on writing tomorrow because I wasn't able to while I was sick. Because when you have like sinus pressure, that is like hell. Nobody's writing anything with sinus pressure. I can tell you that right there.
when you take the day off YouTube and writing your book, be a nice day.
Actually, usually I write every day at night. I try to write at least something every day at night, regardless to whether I'm on YouTube or not. But I haven't been able to since I got sick.
Mm. You can still hear
And
the sick in your voice, so
yeah, I've been sick since last Saturday.
wow.
Hmm.
Well, I definitely will be emailing you to about some more information about my company. I guess the deciphering and the information we talked about today.
Yeah, definitely, because I think it's a good concept, but I will want you to have the best opportunity for it to succeed. So if there's any suggestions that I can do, I'll definitely try to provide them.
Alrighty, thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you guys. And we'll do. I'll try to make the themes every Sunday until otherwise noted. But yeah, I just need to lay here and think for a minute and then go to sleep because the drama is just draining me at this point.
The
So
weekends really take it out of you. It's like it's not even during the week because nobody really does anything during the week, but it's the weekend. So I would take tomorrow off if I was you.
yeah, I think I might take it off. I might do one quick live stream on something that I wanted to talk about. Obviously, it's not going to be a panel because I don't want to be on there for long. I just want to get through this topic, but um, I might do it tomorrow because I didn't want it. I don't know. I might just do a video on it. I might do a live stream. I'm not sure, but um, I'm gonna figure it out. But and of course I'm gonna put videos on Patreon. I probably won't do them on YouTube, but I got two things I want to put on Patreon tomorrow, so I'll do that. But otherwise, I probably won't be engaging with YouTube too much because it's so much drama. Like, but thanks for coming up here, Khadijah and Marcus. Or Marquise, thank you for coming up here and having a chat. I like it. I like just coming up and having the little dialogues that we have.
Yeah, this was
No
nice.
problem. I'll see you guys next Sunday, I guess.
I'll see you
All right,
guys
well,
next Sunday.
definitely, and look out for the videos tomorrow because they will be up. And have a good night.
Okay, good night.
All right, good night.